Some men don't lose their families in one big disaster. They lose them in teaspoons, in slammed doors, in a fork dropped too hard into the sink, in the way a child goes quiet when footsteps get heavy in the hallway. I knew a man like that. Name was Ray, 46, worked maintenance at a public middle school. Broad shoulders, bad knee, hands always dry and cracked from bleach, dust, cold metal, and those cheap brown paper towels they put in staff bathrooms. The kind of man who could fix a broken door closer with a screwdriver and a curse under his breath. The kind of man people laughed at when he lost his temper. And he did lose it. Too easy, too fast. Like there was always a match already lit somewhere inside him. I used to have coffee with him some mornings. Not in any nice place, just one of those narrow diners off the highway where the coffee tastes burned by 6:30 and the waitress calls everybody hun. There was always that smell, burnt toast, old grease, wet jackets in winter. A radio in the kitchen playing songs from the late 80s so low you almost missed them. One morning it was Time After Time. You know how a song can sneak under a locked door? Ray just stared into his mug when that came on. Didn't say anything for a while. Then he said, "You ever notice how people only remember the 5 loud minutes out of your whole day?" That was Ray. A man could carry groceries for his mother after work, pick up cough syrup for his wife, sit up half the night with a feverish little girl, and still get reduced to the one bad moment when he barked at somebody in the parking lot. And to be fair, sometimes that one bad moment was ugly enough. Ray lived in a small ranch house with his wife, Elena, their 8-year-old daughter, Sophie, and his father, Walt, who had started forgetting where he put things, then forgetting what the things were called, then sometimes forgetting Ray's name. That kind of forgetting changes the temperature of a house. Nothing dramatic, just a slow leak. The sort of thing you feel when the refrigerator hum sounds too loud at midnight. Ray's mother had died years before. Stroke. Quick. After that, he'd started looking after Walt more and more. Then, Sophie came along late in life. A surprise. A blessing, sure. Also, diapers at 40. Parent-teacher meetings when your back already hurts. Birthday gifts bought with the same bank card you use to pay for blood pressure medicine. Ray loved them all. That was the rotten part. He loved them hard. He was just tired in a way that made tenderness harder to reach. By the time I met him, he was waking up at 5:10 every morning, packing Sophie's lunch in the half-dark kitchen. Turkey sandwich, apple slices turning brown before noon, a little bag of pretzels, sometimes a note on a torn piece of lined paper. "Have a good day, bug." Then, helping his father button the same plaid shirt 3 times because the buttons kept missing the holes. Then, driving to work with a gas station breakfast burrito going cold on the passenger seat. Then, unclogging sinks, hauling trash, changing fluorescent tubes, hearing teachers talk to him like he was part of the wall. By 4 in the afternoon, he'd already lived a whole day. Then came groceries, prescriptions, dinner, bills, a leaky faucet at home, a school project involving poster board and glue sticks, Walt wandering into the backyard without shoes, Elena asking if he remembered to call the insurance company, and somewhere in there, a dog barking 2 houses down like it had a personal grudge against the whole street. That was the setup. Not for tragedy, just for one of those small humiliations life seems to enjoy arranging. At the school, there was a group of younger office staff. Nice clothes, takeout salads, phones always in hand. The kind of people who said energy a lot. One of them was a woman named Marcy, 32 maybe. Sharp haircut. Always smiling the way people smile when they're about to tell a story about you while you're still in the room. Ray rubbed people the wrong way. He didn't joke much, didn't soften his face, And when he got frustrated, his voice had gravel in it. One Tuesday, the copy machine jammed right before some district meeting. Marcy came storming into the hallway looking for him. "Ray, it's doing that thing again." He was on a ladder changing a ballast in the science wing. Said he'd be there in 10 minutes. She rolled her eyes and said, loud enough for 2 teachers and the front office clerk to hear, "Well, maybe don't explode when you get there." A couple people laughed. Not big laughter. Worse than that. That tight little office laughter. The kind people use when they want to be on the safe side of the joke. Ray climbed down slow. Too slow. That was always how you knew the anger had really arrived. He walked down there with the ladder marks still pressed into his palms, looked at the machine, opened one panel, then another. Paper dust on his shirt. Marcy stood there with her arms folded. She said, "We're all very scared, just so you know." Another laugh. There it was again, that safe little laugh. Ray straightened up, and he snapped. Not with fists, not with threats, just words. Hard words. The kind that come out shaped like years of swallowed things. He said, "You think this is funny because you get to go home tired from sitting down." The room went still. He kept going. Said too much. Said it too loud. Said it in front of the principal. Marcy's face changed. Not hurt exactly. More offended that the janitor had stepped outside the outline people had drawn around him. By lunch, everybody knew. By 3, the story had grown legs. Ray was crazy. Ray had anger issues. Ray had gone berserk over a copy machine. Nobody mentioned the laughing. That part never travels with the same speed. He got written up. Not suspended. Just the formal kind of warning that lands on a desk like a stone. He told me about it 2 mornings later. We were in the diner. His coffee had gone cold. He tore the paper sleeve off the cup into little strips while he talked. Said, "You know what's funny?" Then he shook his head. "No, not funny." He started again. "Sophie asked me that night why I always look mad." That one got him. Not visibly. Ray wasn't a man for tears in public, but his jaw locked. His eyes shifted toward the window where the parking lot was glazed with old rain. He said Sophie had been coloring on the floor, Walt asleep in the recliner with the television too loud. One of those black and white westerns old men like because the world in them is simple and everybody knows who's good and who isn't. Elena was at the stove. Spaghetti, jar sauce, garlic burning a little because she got distracted helping Walt take his pills. Sophie looked up and asked, real casual, "Daddy, are you mad when you're not talking?" That's the kind of question that doesn't shout, doesn't need to. It just sits down beside you and stays. Ray said he laughed when she asked it. A sad little laugh. Said, "No, Bug. Daddy's just tired." She nodded like she understood. Kids do that. They accept explanations that don't hold any weight because they still want to trust your face. Then she went back to coloring. She was drawing their family. Her mother in a yellow dress. Grandpa in a big brown chair. Herself with purple shoes. And Ray with no mouth. He told me that part, staring straight into his coffee. "No mouth," he said. "Can you believe that?" I could. That's the rough thing about children. They don't write poetry. They just tell the truth in crayon. The week after that, Ray got worse before he got better. That's usually how it goes. He tried harder to stay quiet, which only made him look more dangerous. At work, people watched him the way people watch a dog they've decided might bite. At home, he kept swallowing things. The swallowed things turned sour. One evening, Walt spilled a whole bowl of soup onto the kitchen floor. Tomato soup. Red everywhere. On the cabinet base, on Walt's socks, on the yellowed linoleum that had probably seen 3 presidents and 1,000 bad dinners. And Ray shouted. Not just, "It's okay," loud. I mean the real thing. The kind that makes a room pull back. Walt flinched. That part haunted him. Not because his father forgot it, because Ray didn't. Next morning, he found Walt in the garage, sitting on an upside-down milk crate, holding an old cassette case. Bruce Springsteen. No tape inside, just the plastic box. Walt kept opening and closing it with those slow hands of the elderly. Click, click, click. Ray asked what he was doing. Walt said, "Waiting for your mother. We're going dancing." That was 20 years and a grave ago. Ray sat down on the concrete floor beside him, cold seeping through his work pants. Walt looked at him for a long time and said, "You've got too much storm in your face, son." Now, Walt probably forgot saying that 10 minutes later, maybe 5. Didn't matter. It landed. Ray told me all this over coffee, and for the first time, he sounded embarrassed, in a clean way. Not defensive, not angry, just worn out. Like a man finally admitting his boots don't fit and haven't fit for years. He didn't go to therapy, didn't read some big life-changing book, didn't come back from a retreat with linen pants and a new vocabulary. He did smaller things, harder things, really. When he felt himself heating up, he walked to the sink and ran cold water over his wrists. At work, before answering somebody who came at him sideways, he touched his wedding ring with his thumb. At home, when Sophie ran to the door, he bent down before she reached him, so she never had to climb his bad mood to get a hug. He started apologizing faster, too. Not those proud man apologies that sound like a hostage note. Real ones. "I scared you. I'm sorry. I was wrong to raise my voice. That wasn't your fault." He said them to Elena, to Sophie, once, even to Marcy. That one surprised me. She had asked him for help moving old file boxes. He carried them in silence, set the last one down, then said, "I shouldn't have spoken to you like that." Marcy looked uncomfortable, mumbled that she probably shouldn't have joked around either. They never became friends. Life is not a movie, but the air changed. That counts for something. Months later, I saw Ray at the diner again. Same booth, same burned coffee, same old radio, now playing some Fleetwood Mac song that made the whole room feel like an old photo album. He looked older, also lighter. Not happy exactly, just less armed. He told me Sophie had drawn another family picture. This time he had a mouth. A crooked one, but a mouth. He laughed when he said it, then added, "Still gave me the biggest ears in the house." I told him that was probably accurate. He said, "Yeah, maybe I'm finally learning what they're for." That stayed with me. Not because it sounded wise, because it didn't. It sounded earned. There's a difference. A lot of people get mocked for being angry. The world finds angry men easy to caricature. Too loud, too rough, too much. And some of them are cruel, plain and simple. Some of them are just exhausted men leaking pain on everybody nearby. Neither one gets fixed by laughter. Laughter just makes a corner. And once a man lives in a corner long enough, he starts acting like something trapped there. Last winter, I drove past Ray's house around dusk, saw him through the front window. Walt was gone by then. House looked quieter. Ray stood in the kitchen helping Sophie with homework. Elena was drying dishes. There was one of those old plastic pencil boxes on the table, the kind half the kids in America carried in 1992. Blue lid, scratched up. The television was on low in the other room. Some game show host clapping too hard. Normal life. Not polished, not fixed. Just softer. And that, at our age, is about as close to peace as most people get. Not a grand ending. Not redemption with music swelling in the background. Just a man who finally understood that being laughed at for his anger hurt less than watching the people he loved learn to fear his voice. That's a hard thing to sit with. Harder still when the house gets quiet and nobody is slamming doors anymore.